Rockstar, a single off Post Malone's second studio album, Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Rockstar Games, a video game publisher most known for their action-adventure titles. Rockstar North, subsidiary of Rockstar Games, completely unrelated to Post Malone's single Rockstar. Rockstar North being responsible for a few little titles such as Grand Theft Auto 3, 4, and 5, Vice City, San Andreas, Max Payne 3, Red Dead Redemption, and a little game called Manhunt. Manhunt was a stealth-based psychological horror game from 2003 where you played as a death row inmate who is saved from his execution by a sadistic snuff film director who uses you as his puppet to work your way through enemies and different scenes by killing them in horrific and gruesome ways so that he can make a film featuring their real death. You were actually rewarded the more brutal that you made a kill. Each execution had 3 different levels: hasty, violent, and gruesome. The game was gritty, the game was realistic, and at times it was horrifying. It also took place in Carcer City, which is in the Grand Theft Auto universe. At the end of the first game, the police that arrive are Liberty City Police. And Manhunt has been the subject of many Easter eggs in different Rockstar games, even games as recent as GTA 5.
Mikey, bro, what was your first bank score?
88, outskirts of Carcer City. Took a small franchise for 10G. Yeah, things were easier back then.
Being no stranger to controversy, Rockstar has always walked the line between violent video games and games that enrage society to a frenzy. Manhunt is Rockstar beating that line with a crowbar. Manhunt is one of the most relentlessly brutal and gory video games and has been a staple in violent video game conversation since its release. Manhunt follows the likes of GTA 3 and GTA Vice City, 2 games that had their own fair share of controversy for Rockstar. These games involve killing cops, killing civilians, hiring hookers, and doing drugs. Releasing another title that is guaranteed to rile up the media was a bold move by Rockstar, and it even had the company divided amongst itself. Ex-Rockstar employee Jeff Williams spoke on the topic, saying there was almost a mutiny at the company over that game. It made us all feel icky. It was all about the violence, it was all realistic violence, and we knew there was no way that we could explain away that game. There was no way to rationalize it. We were crossing a line. The mid-2000s was a time where video games were seen as evil. Media portrayed video games as serial killer fuel, and many clickbait titles, lead articles, and news broadcasts were similar to "video games are killing the youth." Manhunt, already a focus in discussions like this, was amplified to new heights when a copy of Manhunt was found to be in connection to the real-life murder of a teenager by another teenager. The details of the case eventually dismissed Rockstar and Manhunt of any wrongdoing, primarily because the copy of Manhunt was the victims and not the killers, and the motive for murder turned out to be robbery and drugs. But unluckily for Rockstar, that didn't really matter. Manhunt received floods of inaccuracy and blame, including the victims' parents attempting to sue Rockstar for their supposed culpability. Manhunt still to this day is banned in about 5 different countries. Even though Rockstar faced a media storm for years, in 2007 they released Manhunt 2. Even before they released it, they faced backlash from anti-video game activists and US senators trying to bar the game's release. Similar to the first game, the sequel relied on stealthy executions to progress through the game. In addition to the 3 levels of execution per weapon, you can now use firearms and the environment to kill your target. Rockstar tried to amp up the edginess and attitude in the second Manhunt, resulting in an ESRB rating of adults only, a rating designated for games that are pretty much interactive porn or mass murder simulators, like Hatred. This rating got Manhunt 2 shelved. Adult-only ratings are not only banned from being sold in most retailers such as Walmart, Target, and GameStop, but Sony and Nintendo have both publicly stated that they will not allow adult-only rated games to be published on their consoles. Rockstar went back and edited the game and censored down the more gruesome kills and added a black and white filter over the more bloody scenes, and they removed other features such as the execution scoring mechanic, which gave you a higher score the more gruesome that you made a kill. Manhunt 2 suffered at these losses, and not only sales but in gameplay value, because most of the new features they brought to the sequel from the first were the ones that they had to cut to get the rating down to an M rating. So, is the Manhunt series dead? Even if Rockstar wanted to pursue a third installment of Manhunt, is there even an audience for it? Both Manhunts received less than great reviews and basically rode on their shock value for success, which admittedly worked. Could they rework the premise of the game to be a little more entertaining and not just be an execution simulator? Maybe they can connect with the writers of the movies like The Purge and collaborate on a story with a protagonist but in a Manhunt style environment. I think media and society alike are a little more accepting of video games, and violent video games don't receive nearly the same amount of controversy as they did in the mid-2000s. Rockstar is also capable of higher end graphics and have the better ability to control player movements and camera movements and coordinate them properly, which is one of the biggest gripes from both Manhunt games. But would Rockstar take the risk? Sure, they have the money to blow, GTA 5 grossing in the billions with a B, they have the zeros in the bank account to assign a team just to Manhunt 3. But should they? Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you play either Manhunt? Are you a fan of Rockstar Games in general? And would you personally want to play Manhunt 3 if it was made? Thanks for watching. Peace.
Everybody let me hear you say, oh yeah, hold your hands in the air and wait for my, you just don't care. And if you like fishy grease and all that pimp shit, everybody let me hear you say, oh yeah.